The feathers of eagles are considered very sacred. When you look at the sky, when you see the blue in the sky, this is shkun. And shkun allows motion. This is part of what allows us to live. And when you say that shkun allows motion so that life can exist, this is really interesting when you look at the scientific description of what this is. The scientific description is that this is the ozone layer. The ozone layer keeps out radioactivity. And in here, in this blue, there's creatures living up there. And now some scientists are just now able to see them. There are animals that live up here. And Lakota people have known this for thousands and thousands of years, that there are animals up here. And scientists are just now starting to see them. And these animals that live here, they eat the radioactivity. That's their food. So they are really helping us to live when you think about it. Because if they weren't there, we would all become crispy critters pretty quick. Yeah? We'd become bacon really fast, yeah? Because so these animals are saving us. They're allowing us to live because they eat the radioactivity that comes. Not interesting? The early 1990s, one of the NASA space shuttles was going around the Earth, just observing the Earth, and they came across an area where there was a lot of thunderstorms happening. And as they were filming it, they started to see these things. And they were like, look at that. It's like a zoo up here. When the lightning flashed, you can see them from outer space. And they're huge. They're kind of transparent looking. And when they started to do these international flights over the Pacific Ocean, some of these pilots, they would see one. And they were like, did you see that? And they said, should we report this or not? And they decided not to, because they might send them to a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist might say that they're hallucinating and might give them a drug, and then they might not be able to fly anymore. They might lose their pilot's license. So they decided, oh, let's not say anything. But a lot of pilots saw these things, and they didn't want to talk about it, but they saw them. And when the NASA space shuttle filmed them, this really made these pilots feel good because they knew they were not hallucinating. They were not deprived of sleep, but they knew that what they saw was real. When they die, sometimes they fall to the earth. And so every now and then, some people might see one. Usually it falls during like a thunderstorm. A thunder might get too close to it or something like that. So one might die and fall. And usually when they do fall, it's like a jelly substance. They don't know what it is. When it hits the earth, it's like a jelly substance, and it's hard to explain, but people don't know what it is. That's one of these things. So they do exist, but see, we've known about them for thousands and thousands of years. We have words for them in our language. How did we know that? How did ancient Lakota people know that these animals were up there and that we even described them in our language? They're in the old Lakota star knowledge stories. How did we know that they were up there? Because when you look at the sky, all you see is blue. Yeah? When it's clear sky, all you see is blue. So how did we know they were up there? Well, we probably found a dead one. And another thing is that Lakota star knowledge stories talk about a technology that existed when there was only one continent. And the stories say that we could travel far distances at really fast speeds through the earth and through the air. That tells you there was a technology that existed back then. But when the earth cleansed herself, she took all this technology into the center of the earth. So there's no evidence. But the evidence is in the stories. That's why I really like these old stories, because they say a lot of things about how it used to be on this earth. There's a lot of interesting things in these stories. Anywho, this blue, science calls this the ozone layer, but we call it Sioux. And this is a very sacred area. And eagles fly close to this. So the Sioux, remember what I said about Sioux? You heard me talking about Sioux and hair and stuff like that? Sioux is like the essence of your soul. It is very sacred. Well, the Sioux in the ozone is extremely sacred. And so an eagle flies really close. They get really close to Sioux. And because of that, the Sioux from Sioux gets inside the eagle feathers. And this is why eagle feathers are sacred. This is why eagle feathers are sacred. It's very beautiful. And when you see an eagle, they're so majestic looking. In Lakota culture, eagles, when they find their mates forever. So this is a symbol of love for us. The fathers take care of the children. A lot of times it's the mother that's hunting for the baby eagles, the eaglets. And the father watches over them. So they take turns parenting. They are both there for the baby eagles. So in Lakota, we have this term called mahasani. Mahasani means my other skin. This is a very, very sacred term that is only used by people who understand it. If you don't understand what my other skin means, then you shouldn't use this term. But it doesn't mean that you become one person. It doesn't mean that. It's not like completing each other. No, that's not Mahasani. Because if you think your partner completes you, that means you're incomplete and your partner is incomplete. And if you are incomplete, then you do not know what love is. You have to be complete first. And the way you become complete is by taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, and especially emotionally, as this helps you to communicate in a healthy way and to receive communication in a healthy way too. And this includes learning from difficulties. And then you know what love is. When you are complete, you create intimacy inside of you. And your partner, if she or he is complete, they also have intimacy within themselves. So now when you get together, you have something to share. When you're incomplete, you do not have intimacy. So when two incomplete people get together, they have nothing to share. They don't know what intimacy is. When you are complete, you know what intimacy is. Communicating from your sacred center, learning from your difficulties to enjoy blessings, communicating and receiving communication in a healthy way. Actively listening, really closely listening to what people are saying to you without forming a response. This is being complete. And to live this way, to see difficulty as a blessing. If you understand that difficulty is a blessing, then you are on your way to understanding what Mahasani means. But you have to see beauty in difficulty. If you cannot see beauty in difficulty, you don't know what love is and you don't know Mahasani. That's how it goes in the Lakota way. So eagles, they are symbols of Mahasani. It's a very wonderful symbol of love. And what beautiful concept that is, because their feathers have the tone of Shka, and this is wonderful. It's life. It's sacred. Very, very sacred. So you handle eagle feathers with care. And you try to not let an eagle feather drop to the ground from your hands. If you drop an eagle feather, it's almost like you killed somebody. It's almost like that. It's serious. So when somebody drops an eagle feather, he has to find 4 warriors who faced death. And they have to dance around this eagle feather 4 times. They pretend to attack the feather 3 times. And then the 4th time they come up to it, the oldest warrior of the 4 picks it up. Now that feather belongs to him. This is a really sad thing when an eagle feather drops. When you're holding an eagle feather, you make sure you hold on to it good. Don't just be flicking it between your fingers and chewing bubble gum and saying, "Yeah, I think that's a really cool makeup, and we should go to McDonald's," and then all of a sudden the feather drops to the ground. See, you were not paying attention. If you do not understand this, then you should not be wearing eagle feathers. Eagle feathers are only supposed to be worn by warriors who face death and leaders who do good things for their people. And men who have done something very good for the people are given an eagle feather for each good deed that they have done, so that the people may live. These are the only people who are supposed to be wearing eagle feathers. And women are not supposed to wear them. And the reason why is because they don't need to. I said in another show that women have 7 stages of development. Men only have 4. So to come back into balance with women, we have to do extra things. And for us, one of those is wearing eagle feathers. So it's not that men are better, okay? It's not that at all. It's the opposite. And women who go through menopause, they can't wear eagle feathers because they lose something. And so this is why they can start to do some of the things that men do. It has nothing to do with men being better, okay? It has nothing to do with that. So when you go to a powwow and you see all these young girls with eagle plumes in their hair, it looks nice and pretty, but you know what? That's violating ancient Lakota tradition. When you see a young boy with a traditional dancer powwow regalia and it's just filled with eagle feathers, it looks nice, it's beautiful, but this is another violation of eagle feathers. The only people who are supposed to be wearing these are leaders who do good things for their people and warriors who have faced death and they came back.
And men who have done something very good for the people.
These are the only men who are supposed to be wearing eagle feathers, which means it's men, not boys. And women who go through menopause.
And women who were born in such a way that they cannot have children.
These are the only women who can wear eagle feathers. And it's not supposed to be people who served in United States military, because American military war is not the same as ancient war. It's two different things. So these are some interesting things that a lot of people don't know about. And that's why I'm saying them, because it's valuable information and it shows a lot of respect to the eagle. It's a very sacred bird because of the tune from skunk. So eagle feathers, handle them carefully. Pay attention. Don't be light-hearted. It's like a person.
Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this video. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to send a special thanks in support of this channel, look at the bottom of this video where the title is, and right under that, where it says like, dislike, and share, right in that area, slide it towards the left, and you will see the symbols change, and then you will see a heart-shaped button that says thanks on it. If you would like to click on there to send your thanks of support, I would really appreciate it, as I really do enjoy making these videos and speaking with you and spending some time with you. And all I ask is that you take the time to think about the message and come up with your own ideas. So again, thank you very much for listening. To learn more about Lakota spirituality, I have written a book called Wichocha Otechike. This book also includes Lakota star knowledge information. All the videos that I make, which are about Lakota spirituality, Lakota star knowledge, and cultural information, are based on this book. This book costs 99 American dollars. This price includes the shipping cost as well as a tracking number. And to learn more about Lakota language, I have written a Lakota language book called Chante Etanha Owoglake, Speaking from the Heart. And all my Lakota language videos are based on this book. This book costs 119 American dollars. This price includes the shipping cost as well as a tracking number. I also teach online, and I give spiritual consultations as well. If you are interested in any of my services and products, you can send payment via PayPal to my email address, which is hehaka7@yahoo.com. That's HEHAKA, the number 7@yahoo.com. When you send your payment, please include your shipping address and your email address. Lila Pilamayelo. Thank you very much. in the Lakota way, everything is circular. As a result, we do not have a word for goodbye in the Lakota language. And so instead we say until next time, which in Lakota is Doksha Ake. And I will catch you in the next video.